Irma Peterson, why did you take the scissors and cut that beautiful stiff collar off of your new blouse?
Well, Jane, the doctor says I should cut out starches.
Well, that's what you can expect when you listen to my friend Irma.
Friendship, friendship, just a perfect friendship. When other friendships have been forgot, theirs will still be hot.
Lever Brothers Company, makers of Swan, the soap with the exclusive super cream blend, presents
Our friend Swan.
With my friend Irma.
Starring Marie Wilson as Irma and Kathy Lewis as Jane.
You know, living in a big city like New York is exciting. There's always something doing. Sometimes it's enough to make a girl's head spin. Say, it just occurred to me, maybe that's what's wrong with Irma Peterson. But right or wrong, I love that kid. She's really like a little child. Right now, she's curled up on the sofa, her legs folded under her, her right hand holding a pencil, her left hand scratching her pretty blonde head. Believe it or not, Irma is doing a crossword puzzle.
Jane.
What is it, honey?
What's a three-letter word for an animal that gives milk and is often the mother of calves?
Oh, certainly you should know a thing like that. That's a cow, of course.
But I've only got 2 spaces. Could it be a small cow?
How can you only have 2 spaces for a 3-letter word?
Well, I had to use one of my spaces because the other word was longer.
Oh, honey, let me see that puzzle.
Well, I finished it, Jen, and it's perfect.
Perfect. Let me see it. 11-letter word for the smallest state in the Union. Roseland? Honey, that's a dance hall.
Well, it fits.
Don't argue, honey. Now let me go on.
Just stick it.
7-letter word for animal with longest neck. Graffu. Graffu?
Certainly, Jane, you've seen them.
Oh, certainly I've seen them at the zoo. What is all this? 11-letter word for largest river in America, father of the waters, Mississippi. Honey, that's Mississippi.
But it said father.
Oh, honey. Eastern range of mountains, apple machines. 12-letter name of Indian girl who saved John Smith, cough drops. Oh, Irma.
What's the matter, Jane? Did I make a mistake in spelling?
Oh, honey. Why do you try to work a crossword puzzle from memory? We have the Book of Knowledge right over there. I bought it especially for you. Why don't you use it?
Well, I've tried, Jane, but that first story's so dull. It's called Index.
You know, Irma, you really tax my patience. You really do. Sometimes I want to...
Jane.
What is it, honey?
Jane, do you think I'm stupid?
Well, no, I like the way you wear your hair.
Jane, you do think I'm stupid.
Oh, no, honey. No, I love you. You're not stupid at all. You're just careless.
Well, Jane, you have no confidence in me. That's why I get nervous and do wrong things.
You know, maybe you're right, Irma. Maybe I do give you a complex. Well, from now on, I will never yell at you.
And, Jane, from now on, I won't do anything foolish.
Thank you, honey. Show you how much faith I have in you. Professor Kropotkin wants one of us to come up and do a little sewing for him. Do you want to do it?
Oh, yes, Jane.
Remember now, honey, be careful. The professor doesn't have too many clothes.
Well, Jane, you know my mending is wonderful. Didn't I sew something for you yesterday? Wasn't it good?
It was excellent, honey. Now all I have to do is wait for an occasion when I can use a pleated handkerchief.
Well, that was yesterday. Today I'm a new Irma. Well, I'll go up to the professor's room now and get started. See you later, Jane.
Goodbye, honey. Hello? No, Al, Irma isn't here. You what? Yeah, I'll tell her you'll be delayed. Anything wrong? Oh, you have a sink full of dishes? Al, I thought you always ate in a restaurant. What? You do, but this time they wouldn't take your IOU? Yeah, well, I'll tell her, Al. Goodbye. Come in.
Hello, Jane.
Hello, Richard. What are you so excited about?
Well, Jane, do you remember a few months ago when I told you I was entering a photography contest?
Yeah?
Well, I've just finished taking the greatest roll of film that I've ever shot. 2 months of back-breaking effort, and here it is, all on this roll.
Oh, gee, I'm so anxious to see him. When will you have him developed?
Well, that's why I dropped by, Jane. You know that Jimmy Copeland in Westport does all my developing.
Yes.
Well, I just called him, and Jim won't be in until 5 o'clock, and I'm doing an important meeting out on Long Island at the same time, and, well, I can't take it up there, and, well, would it be too much?
Oh, Richard, of course, I'd be glad to run up to Westport and have the films developed.
Oh, Jane, you're wonderful. I'll leave the film and the camera with you. Well, why do you look so concerned?
Irma and Al. I don't want them to get their hands on this film, not to mention this expensive camera.
Yes, I know what you mean. I know what they did to your Easter hat. They planted it.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of worried. I've got to go to the hairdresser's for an hour, and all I want to know is where I can hide the camera and film where Al would never think of looking.
Well, you could hide it under the Help Wanted section of the newspaper. Al wouldn't go near that with a 10-foot pole. Hey, but what about Irma?
If Irma sees this roll of film, she'll probably think it's fly paper, dip it in honey, and hang it from the chandelier.
No, seriously, Jane, I don't think we've anything to worry about, though. There's no occasion for Al or Irma to ever use a camera.
No, I think you're right, Richard. Just to play safe, I'll hide the camera and the film in the one place that Irma never goes near. I'll hide them in back of the Book of Knowledge.
The Book of Knowledge? That's a great idea. Oh, that'll do it. Well, I'll call you after the meeting tonight, and thanks a lot, and keep your fingers crossed that I win the photography contest.
Richard, I don't mind running the errand, but don't you tip a messenger boy?
Oh, I see what you mean, Jane. Here's your tip, honey.
Oh. Oh, for the life of a Western Union boy. Now, let me see. I'll just put this camera and film in back of the Book of Knowledge. There. That hides him completely.
Well, I'm back, Jane.
Already, honey? Did you sew for the professor?
Yes, his collar was frayed, and he asked me to reverse it.
Oh, that was sweet of you, honey. You know, the professor has no one to look after him. I'm sure he appreciates anything you do for him.
Oh, that's the way I feel about it, Jane. So I fixed his new overcoat for him, even though he didn't ask me.
What was wrong with his new overcoat?
Well, in the back of it, at the bottom, there was a 2-foot slit, so I sewed it up.
Irma, that is the way a man's overcoat is made.
Oh, then I guess I shouldn't have cut off those 2 pieces of cloth hanging over the pockets.
Irma, you cut off the flaps?
Now, gee, Jane, remember what you said. Have confidence.
I have confidence. I have confidence that Professor Kropotkin will never be able to wear that coat. Come in.
It's only me, Professor Kropotkin. Hello, Janie and Irma, my 2 little sailboats. One on the beam, one lost in a fog. Janie, would you mind walking around in back of me so you could tell me if my necktie is on straight?
Professor, what's your necktie doing on backwards?
This is what happens when I ask Irma to reverse my collar.
Gosh, I'm sorry, Professor.
That's all right, Irma. I still have another shirt. You know, the one I wear with my tuxedo, the stiff front?
Stiff front? Oh, my.
What's the matter, Irma?
Oh, I thought it was a cardboard it came wrapped in, so I cut it out.
Forget it, Irma. You had the scissors in your hand, and I'm still alive. For that, I got to be grateful. But, Janie, the reason I came down to see you girls is that I just received a letter from my uncle in the old country. I would like to read it to you.
Oh, go ahead, Professor. Read it. I love to hear long-distance letters.
Well, it says, Dear nephew, Someday in the future, I hope to visit you in your wonderful country, America. So kindly get me a house, a car, a couple washing machines, a swimming pool, a refrigerator, and 2 weeks in Honolulu. As I understand, they give them away on the radio. Love, your uncle.
Well, that's the most distorted impression of this country I've ever heard.
I know, Jenny, and I'd like to correct it. So, Jenny, if I would dictate a letter, would you be so kind to take it down? My spelling is terrible.
Oh, sure, I will, Professor, but you have to hurry, huh? I have to go to hairdressers.
Oh, sure, all right. Get a pencil.
Yeah,
You
all
got
right, I got
it. Dear Uncle, first of all, I'd like to send my love to your children. Peter, Henry, Linda, Donald, Anthony, Mary, Susan, Robert, George, Thelma, Rose, Hilda, Harriet, Benjamin, Freddie. And by the way, tell me, how is the baby? New paragraph.
You mean new page? Go on.
Uncle, you got the wrong idea of America. Suggest you read some books on American history. Best regards, your nephew Kropotkin.
Anything else?
No, Jenny, thank you very much. Girls, have you got a stamp?
I have a Christmas seal.
This is only good if my uncle was Santa Claus. I'll find one. Goodbye.
Gee, I wish I'd get letters from the old country. All my ancestors lived in Sweden.
Yeah, but, sweetie, your ancestors have been dead for centuries.
Well, how am I to know those things if they don't write to me?
Come in.
Hello, Jane. Hiya, chicken.
Hello, Al, honey.
Look, Al, don't think it's your personality, but I've got to run.
You mean my new deal means nothing to you?
I'm still trying to get over your last one. Breaking up peanut shells and selling them for cornflakes.
Let her go. They laughed at Henry Hudson.
Yes, and look at the wonderful automobile he made.
Well, how's the world been treating you, chicken?
Oh, not very well, Al. I'm a little discouraged. Nobody has confidence in me. Jane yells at me, and then I tried to help out Professor Kropotkin and ruined his coat. And this morning my boss yelled at me.
Well, why'd he yell at you, chicken?
Oh, I threw out all his tobacco. I thought it was the shavings from the pencil sharpener.
Well, pretty soon, chicken, we'll have a home of our own, and little Al will never yell at you.
Gee, Al, I can't wait for the day when we carry each other across the threshold. Come in.
It's me again, Professor Kropotkin. Where's Janie?
She went to the hairdresser's.
Oh, Irma, maybe you could help me. I want to say something important in this letter to my uncle about what a wonderful country America really is. I'd like to describe the Grand Canyon, Yosemite Park. Have you got a book around that could help me?
Yes, we have the Book of Knowledge.
Oh, could I borrow it, please?
Certainly, it's right over here. I'll get it. Oh, Al, look what's in the back of the Book of Knowledge, a camera.
Hey, it's a beauty. Got Richard's name on it. Made in Switzerland, telescopic lens, built-in light meter, rangefinder. You know, a camera like this can set a guy back $10 easy.
Oh, and there's a roll of film, too.
Oh, yeah. Kropotkin? Huh? Got an idea. Don't bother with that letter. A picture is worth 1,000 words. Huh? Now, why don't we just go out and take pictures of Mrs. O'Reilly and Irma and myself and all your friends? Give them an idea of how really great living in this country is. And we can use this roll of film and this camera.
A wonderful idea.
Oh, but Richard may not like us to use his camera and film.
Irma, what do you think? I would use this roll of film without paying for it? You think I'm a cheapskate? I'll leave him 30 cents on this table for another roll of film.
Why, certainly. Nothing could be fairer than that. We can't hurt anything.
Oh, but Al, I promised Jane I wouldn't be careless, and every time we take something that doesn't belong to us, it always seems to turn out different than we planned.
Chicken, admit on previous occasions have made errors. But this is just a camera and a roll of film. You put one in the other and we shoot pictures.
Oh, but Al, do you know how to use a camera?
So what if I'm not an expert? After all, I'm not trying to win a contest.
You know, ladies, Swan soap actually differs from other soaps, and you can prove it for yourself just by feeling a cake of Swan. It feels smoother. In fact, Susie Swan says it's a smoothie.
It's a smoothie, it's a cake of Swan. You can feel that super cream blend. You can feel the difference in it. You can tell it in a minute. It's a smoothie. That's Swan.
Yes, ladies, next time you unwrap a cake of Swan, do this. Run your fingers over it. Feel how it differs from other soaps. Feel the extra smoothness of the cake itself. That's a direct result of Swan's exclusive super creamed blend. And when you use Swan for dishes, feel Swan suds. They feel richer, creamier, and Swan's mild suds protect your hands. Sure, after you're through, look at your hands. You'll see that they're left with a wonderful, smooth, young look. Swan Super Creamed Suds are rich, thick, fast suds, too, and they rinse away so completely your dishes don't need wiping. Yes, Swan soap means faster dishwashing and protection for your hands, thanks to Swan's exclusive Super Creamed blend.
Well, here I am at the hairdresser's, getting my hair done, getting a manicure at the same time. It's taking a little longer than usual because I keep thinking of the camera and the roll of film and Irma and Al, and as soon as she finishes one hand, I start biting my nails. She has to do it all over again. Oh, I probably have nothing to worry about. I think I'm being a little unjust to Irma because I said that I'd have confidence in her and never yell at her. Of course, her record in the past hasn't been too sensational. Like the time I saved my money to buy a new silver fox. When it arrived, I wasn't home, so Irma promptly gave it to the dog catcher because she knew Mrs. O'Reilly didn't allow pets. But as Richard said, what would Irma and Al want with a camera?
Jane! Oh, Al, she's not here.
Well, Chicken, we got some great pictures on this roll of film.
Yes, I like the shots we got in the museum.
Yeah, by the way, Chicken, meant to ask you, why didn't you let me take your picture in front of the statue of Venus de Milo?
You mean that girl with the arms broken off?
Uh-huh.
Well, I didn't want people to think I did it.
Well, Chicken, how would you like to go to see a movie, huh? We can see Ken Murray's Bill and Coo, or we could see A Miracle Can Happen. And to make it a real miracle, I'll pay for the tickets.
Oh, I'd love to, Al.
All right. We better put the camera and roll of film back where it was. Some jerk might come in and tamper with it. I'll pick it up when we come back from the movies and have it developed.
All right, Al. There. It's hidden.
Hi, kids.
Hello, Jane.
Where are you two off to?
Well, Alan and I thought we'd go to the movies. Gee, Jane, I wish you'd been with us this afternoon. We had so much fun taking pictures with Professor Kropotkin.
Pictures? Kids, let me get this straight. Al, did you go behind the Book of Knowledge and get a camera that belongs to Richard, which cost him $2,000?
Eek!
Answer me, did you, Al?
I didn't do nothing.
Then why did you shriek?
Thought I saw a mouse run into the kitchen.
Well, I hope you're not kidding, Al, about not taking pictures with Richard's camera, because Richard left his camera and roll of films with me so I could take it to Westport to be developed. He's entering a photography contest. He's got some wonderful pictures. Irma, what's wrong?
I thought I saw Al's mouse come out of the kitchen. Gee, Jane, you said you were going to have confidence in me.
Irma, I have all the confidence in the world in you, but I'd like to play safe, just in case. Oh, the camera's here, and so's the roll of film. Gee, I apologize, kids.
Granted.
You've done nothing wrong. Why are the two of you staring at each other?
I was thinking of taking a trip on a boat, and I want to remember Irma as she is now.
Irma, why are you so pale?
Boats make me seasick.
Well, I'm glad nothing's wrong.
Jane?
Yeah, honey?
What kind of pictures did Richard take?
Oh, a variety, honey. General Eisenhower, Statue of Liberty, Mount Whitney. In fact, if anything happened to those pictures, he'd go out of his mind.
He will.
Chicken meant to say, he will.
Well, kids, I'm off to Westport to get this roll of film developed. Gee, I bet those pictures will be amazing.
I think so, too.
Say, honey, Honey, what's this 30 cents here on the table?
Oh, that's for Richard. It's to pay for...
To pay for a couple of cigars he gave me once when I told him I had a baby. I mean, my grandmother... that is, I didn't have a grandma. She doesn't smoke.
Yeah, well, good night, all. I'll see you later.
Goodbye, Jane.
Have a safe trip.
Oh, well, when they develop our pictures on top of the ones Richard took, he's going to be awfully angry.
Chicken, I can't understand you. You put the film in the camera. Didn't it say it had been used?
No, all it said was, this film has been expensive.
Chicken, that was exposed.
Oh, Al, now you have no confidence in me.
Aw, don't cry, Chicken. It's my fault as much as it is yours. Our backs may be up against the wall, but I still got an ace up my sleeve. Must stop Jane from developing those pictures.
How, Al?
Only one man who can help us.
Who, Al?
Who else but... Hello, Joe? Al, got a problem. Must stop a dame from developing pictures. What do you suggest? Uh-huh. Marry her? Impossible, Joe. I love Irma. Now, how else do you stop a date? What's that? 2 sacks of quick-drying concrete, a rowboat and a radio playing loud to drown the noise of the splash? Oh, no, Joe, that's criminal. Cannot do anything illegal. You understand, Joe? That's right, Joe. To each his own. Thanks. We'll be calling you.
What did he say, Al?
Did not have practical suggestions.
I know, Al. I heard him suggest a rowboat. You'd certainly get caught. You haven't got a fishing license.
Chicken, this time we've done it for sure. We've exposed Richard's roll of film, and we got to suffer for it. So, let's live before we die. Get me a hard-boiled egg and come here and sit by me on the sofa.
Hello, Irma.
All right.
Jane, did you take the pictures to Westport?
Yeah?
How did Mr. Copeland act?
Well, now I know why Richard wanted him to develop those films. Honestly, he's really a sensitive artist. He took those films from me, and he handled them like a surgeon performing a delicate operation in the hospital.
Please, Jane, don't mention hospitals.
Why? Someone you know get hurt?
Not yet.
You're quiet, Jane. Jane, did you see how the pictures turned out?
Oh, no, of course not, Al. It takes a little while to develop them, you know. But if they turn out the way Richard expects, they must make everyone's eyes pop.
You can bet on that.
Come in.
Hello, girls. Hello, Al.
Oh, Mrs. O'Reilly, how nice you look. What a chic hat. With 2 green arrows piercing it. Did you just buy it?
Heavens, no. I had this on the day I stepped off the boat from Ireland. Oh, and that Professor Kropotkin. He's such a kidder. Always joshing me about my age.
Oh. You mean on account of the arrows?
Yes. He says I should have ducked when the Indians attacked. Oh, but it's so sweet of him to want to send me a picture to his uncle.
Yes, it is.
But sometimes I think his sense of humor goes too far. The professor says his uncle sent him a picture of the ruins of Pompeii, and he wants to send mine back to prove that America can match them wreck for wreck.
He's only kidding, Mrs. O'Reilly.
Oh, of course. Oh, Irma, dear, did you give Richard the 30 cents for the film we used?
Aye?
What?
Why, isn't 30 cents enough? I came down to offer my share.
Quiet, Mrs. O'Reilly. Just a minute. Give me a chance. Irma Peterson. Al, where are you going?
Yes, Al, Jane is right. If you want to lie down, get on the bed, not under it.
Irma Peterson, look at me. Do you mean to tell me that you took pictures with the same roll that oh, Irma.
But we didn't know, Janie.
No, that's the trouble. You never know. That mind of yours goes in more directions than a 4-way cold tablet. Oh. What am I going to say to Richard when he sees what's happened to his wonderful pictures? Mrs. O'Reilly will be sitting on Eisenhower's lap. Irma will be feeding the fish in the Mojave Desert. And Al will be putting slugs in the Statue of Liberty. Oh, Irma.
I think I'll be running along, girls. Goodbye.
Jane, please don't cry. Richard can have any picture he wants out of my album.
No.
All right, he can have 2 pictures.
Chicken, just remember...
You didn't remember anything. You're going to sit right here, Al, and take what's coming to you. This is the last time I'm going to explain things to Richard on your behalf, so there. Hello? Who? Yes, this is Jane Stacy, yes. Oh, Mr. Copeland. What? You've developed Richard's pictures. Yes, they should win the prize? Yeah, but you see, someone else used the camera and they put the what? It didn't hurt the pictures? But how? Oh, they must have left the green cover on the lens. Oh, thank you. Goodbye. Oh, honey, you didn't ruin the films. In fact, you didn't even take pictures. That green cap was on the lens.
I know.
Chicken, you knew all the time.
Yes, I thought we'd get green pictures.
The other day, Irma visited Central Park. When she came home, I saw her fill a pan of water, set it on the windowsill, and put a cake of Swan soap next to it. I should have known better, but I said, "Why, honey?" And Irma said,
Well, at the park, all the swans have a pond, and I think our swan should have one, too.
Well, Jane, what Irma really meant to do with that pan of water, I'll bet, was to wash the dishes. Because she knows, like lots of other women, that there's nothing like Swan soap for dishes. Yes, ladies, it's true. Swan Super Creamed Blend makes it the perfect dishwashing soap. Why, you can tell Swan differs from other soaps just by feeling a cake of Swan. It feels smoother. And when you wash dishes, feel those mild Swan suds. They feel richer, creamier. Yes, when you feel those suds, you'll know why Swan Super Creamed Blend protects your hands. And when you're through with dishes, you'll find that your hands are left with a smooth, soft, young look. And what's more, Swan rinses away so completely your dishes don't need wiping. Now, that's a real time saver. So remember, ladies, if you want a soap that protects your hands, a soap that'll get you out of the kitchen fast, you want the soap with the exclusive Super Creamed Blend, Swan Soap. My Friend Irma, presented by Swan, another fine product of Lever Brothers Company, was produced and directed by Cy Howard. Tonight's script was written by Cy Howard and Park Levy. Folks, next Monday evening, listen again to
Our Friend Swan.
with my friend, Irma.
Starring Marie Wilson as Irma and Kathy Lewis as Jane. The part of Professor Kropotkin was played by Hans Conried. Frank Bingman speaking.
Spry,
Cakes are light and high.
Spry,
There's a reason why.
Spry,
Cakes improve with Spry.
rely on Spry.
Yes, there's a reason why Spry makes grand cakes. Spry has an amazing cake improver secret. Try the Spry one bowl way and be sure of lighter, finer, richer cakes every time. No other type of shortening has Spry's cake improver. For new cake-making success, try Spry, the pure all-vegetable shortening.
Rely on Spry, S-P-R-Y. Rely on Spry.
Tune in next week 1 hour earlier and listen to the Lux Radio Theater, immediately followed by My Friend Irma. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.